Welcome back to Switcher South Africa. I'm Nicky Nice as always, and yet again I'm back with another video at another launch. I am with GWM, and I am currently in Limpopo for the launch of the GWM Tank. So before I speak about the GWM Tank, let me speak about GWM so that you guys that are watching can understand where they stand. So GWM is the brand, is the, how can I put it, is the principal, basically, is the head of everything. And then underneath GWM, there's Tank, there's the newly launched Aura, which is an electric vehicle. We will get that on test, you will see it on the channel. And then there is Haval, and then there is P series. So when you go to GWM, any dealership, you'll see a GWM badging on the left. And then if that dealership offers its sub manufacturers or brands, you will see it on the right hand side. So you will see Tank, Aura, Haval, and P series. But enough about that. We're here to speak about the GWM Tank 300 that I'm currently sampling all the way in Limpopo. So first things, you know how we do it this side. I'm going to speak about the exterior look of the vehicle, interior look of the vehicle, and my thoughts of the vehicle. And it's very interesting, my thoughts of the vehicle. And you know how we do it. We do cost of ownership and then say vala. So the exterior look of the vehicle, personally, when the car was launched, or when it was launched, when I first saw it on pictures and in person, besides today, I was not really a fan of the vehicle. Didn't necessarily like the look of the vehicle. Now that I've seen it up and close and personal, I don't mind the look of the vehicle. It is a good looking vehicle. It's not ugly per se. I do like the look of the vehicle, the exterior look of the vehicle. So it reminds me of like a Jeep Wrangler, and I think that is their competition, and I think that is one of their competitors, and we'll speak about their competitors later. But from the exterior look of the vehicle, they've kept it simple, I should say. You get those lovely LED headlamps up front, LED tail lamps at the back, and you get this spare wheel that's outside the vehicle, so it's not inside the vehicle. Underneath the vehicle is on the boot lid of the vehicle. So it's a very interesting look of the vehicle at the back. But jumping into the interior, that's where you see the luxury that GWM speaks about when he speaks it to their vehicles. So when you get into the interior of the vehicle, the fit and finish, oh my god, it's so beautiful, so amazing. The back seats as well. So the fit and finish, or the stitching of the seats, is not just in front, it goes all the way to the back as well, the back seats as well. And jumping into the back, there's an ample leg room, ample headroom, very spacious vehicle, very comfortable vehicle when you get to the interior of the vehicle. Then you get this lovely dash display over there, and this 12-inch infotainment system and a digital instrument cluster. I'm not sure how many inches that, but it looks like one full screen, but it's two separate screens, but they interchange, they work together simultaneously, and it's a good I like how it looks. Speaking of that, it reminds me of a certain brand. That design reminds me of a Mercedes-Benz. And speaking of Mercedes-Benz, another thing that reminds me of Mercedes-Benz is the aircon vents that this tank has. That just comes out straight from Mercedes-Benz. Not that I'm mad at it or anything, just that it reminds me of something. That's why I need to mention it. The front seats are electric, both driver and passenger, and that's standard across the whole range. The vehicle that you guys are seeing now is the top of range hybrid version. We'll speak about that in a bit. Just to touch on the interior, the gear lever is a very interesting one. It reminds me of like an airplane gear lever. Like, it's something that I feel like if I pull it backwards, the car will take off. Like, it's a very interesting design, if I should say. A lot is going on, but it feels good. The steering wheel gets the job done, feels good. You get this lovely sunroof, small sunroof, not too big or anything like that. I'm a lover of sunroof. I would have loved if it was bigger, but at least you do get the sunroof on this one. So now moving on to the important part, the car itself. So the one you guys are seeing is a hybrid version, a 2-liter 4-cylinder petrol engine and a hybrid with hybrid assistance, producing 255 kilowatts and 648 newton meters of torque, and that is a lot. But then again, the car feels heavy. The car is heavy. I'm not sure exactly how much it weighs, but I'll put it on the screen if I do forget it. But the car is heavy, and how I tell that the car is heavy is that it doesn't necessarily feel like 255 kilowatts and 648 newton meters of torque. It feels more like 200 kilowatts and 550 newton meters of torque. So, but the car goes. That's something I need to put out there. The car gets to speed. Just that with those numbers, it's not insanely quick or anything like that, but it does get to speed decently enough. So when I jumped in the vehicle, my range was telling me 800 and something. You should be seeing it now on the overplay videos, and that is quite fuel efficient. Looking at from such a big car, you can get that, and it's on par with the diesel models, the diesel competitions. So from Ford, they're competing with the Ford Everest, they're competing with the Toyota Fortuner, they're competing with an Isuzu MUX and the Jeep Wrangler. This is, so they say, the competitors. And I'll speak about the competitors at the end when I say, do I really like the vehicle or would I buy it? So more to the drive of the vehicle, it's very smooth, it's very comfortable. When you start the vehicle, it starts in electric mode, and then if you're driving slowly, it will stay in EV, and then the petrol engine will kick in when it wants to kick in or when it needs to kick in. But majority of the time, if you're driving slowly and all that, it will solely drive on EV mode. And what I do like is that you can adjust how you want the regen braking. And what is regen braking? Basically, when you brake the current is sent back into the batteries, charging the vehicle again. So you can put it on low, medium, or high. When I got it, it was on high, and I was not liking it because I haven't been in an electric car for a while, so I'm not used to the regen braking for a bit. So I put it on low. But yeah, something I need to speak about is with regards to what I don't like about the vehicle. And what I don't like is all of the assist systems. And this is something, not a flaw for the specific vehicle, but it's across the brand of GWM. All their vehicles have all these lovely assists, but at the same time, they are too much. And when you switch them off, when you start the vehicle again, they all switch back on. So I'm not a fan of that. So like your lane keeping assist. So the thing is, I do like this. I do like the systems that it has. I just don't like it when you switch off the vehicle and the systems are still there. And secondly, is for you to switch them off, you need to faff around the infotainment system to switch them off. You don't have a physical button that you can play with, that you can press on the steering wheel, or it's not really, it's a process. It's a tedious process to switch off those systems, and it's something that I really, really don't like in this vehicle. More to that is on the side of the, I don't know if it's a specific unit or I'm here to figure out what's going on, but when I'm playing music, it will increase the volume. It'll be banging at the specific volume, and then all of a sudden it will decrease itself and then come back up, decrease itself, come back up. So I'm not really a fan of that, and that goes back to there's too much going on in the infotainment system. Everything needs to be done in the infotainment system, and that's one of my problems. But I'm gonna keep this quick launch review short. So we're going to do off-roading tomorrow. You should be seeing overplay videos of off-roading now. I'm not gonna speak too much about off-roading because I am not a geek in terms of off-roading, so I won't be able to tell you all of the fancy things, although I do know the basics, the follow, I know how to operate those things. I'm just not an off-road fanatic per se, so I don't want to dwell too much on the off-roading and off-roading capabilities. But hopefully when I do get the vehicle on test, I will do my homework and I will do something off-roading with someone that knows their stuff. But I've told you everything you need to know about the vehicle, except for pricing and cost of ownership. So this car starts at 725,000 Rand. It goes all the way up to the one that I'm testing to 851,000 Rand. And if you finance that over a period of 5 years, which is 60 months, at an interest rate of 12.25% with no deposit, you're looking at paying 19,000 Rand for this vehicle. For what the car has, right? And its competition. This is such a value for money vehicle. I gotta give it to GWM for that. They are fighting for their position in that segment that I mentioned earlier. But here's my question: would I buy this vehicle for 850,000 Rand? It's tough. It's not an easy yes, because there's so many things small things that I don't like, but are such big things in terms of determining whether I'd buy the vehicle. And that comes to the cars that I mentioned. All those cars except for the Jeep Wrangler are 7-seaters, so they're offering another row of seats. And you guys know I love the Ford Everest, and if you put the Ford Everest Sport side by side the GWM Tank, I'm leaning with the Sport. Toyota fanboys, if I put a Fortuner next to the GWM, which one are you guys leaning towards? Please comment. Isuzu fanboys, If I put the Isuzu and the GWM, which one would you lean towards? So it's tricky. I want to reserve my full comments of this vehicle when I have the car on test and when I live with the vehicle for like a full 7 days, because now it's just my first impressions. And first impressions, I am wowed, but not wowed enough to take it over its competition. But I've told you everything you need to know. I'll see you in the next one.